Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Nick Bumgardner, and today I'm going to show you what's in my camera case. So what's in my camera case is probably the question that I get asked more than anything at all. So I'm going to start out by saying my favorite camera case is a Pelican 1535. It's a case that's a lot like the Pelican 1510, which is super popular. The 1535 though is a little bit different. The Pelican 1535 is about 30% lighter than the older Pelican 1510. And to me, that's huge because it's a big savings on weight. I'm kind of a small guy, so it makes a big difference. I have my Pelican 1535 filled with Trek Pack dividers, and they're just the best dividers in the world. Bar none, they're my absolute favorite. So let's go ahead and dive into the camera case. The Trek Pack dividers are my favorite dividers in the world. They're simple, they're easy, they're modular, and they fit better than any other dividers I've used. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the camera case now. All right, the first thing I pulled out here is my Peak Designs camera strap. And Peak Designs is one of my favorite brands. They make excellent gear. The way that their straps snap onto the camera is perfect. I've never found anyone that does it better. This is the camera that I use the most. It's a Nikon Z7. It has somewhere around 40 megapixels, excellent file quality, and it does both video and stills very well. Right now, and the way I have it in my camera case is I put a 50mm f1.4 Nikon lens on it in the G mount, and it has the FTZ adapter, and it does everything that I need it to do. Next up is my favorite lens in my bag. It's the Nikon 105mm G series macro lens with vibration reduction, and it is bar none the most used lens in my kit next to the 50mm. Next up we have the Nikon 85mm f1.8 G lens. This is the lens that I use for almost all of my headshots. It doesn't make an appearance often on a food or beverage set, but when it does, it definitely comes in handy. All right, so this is the oldest lens in my kit. This is a 60mm Nikon D lens. So it's an AFD series, so it doesn't autofocus on my Nikon Z7, but that's not really a problem because it's a macro lens, I'm using it in close. I'm gonna focus it manually anyway, so it's not a big deal to me. And this is a lens that I use on a pretty regular basis. I use it when I can't back up far enough to use a 105mm lens, and also in a pinch, it's a pretty good portrait lens if I don't have the distance for the 105. All right, so this is one of the most important pieces of the kit I have for shooting beverages. And this is a circular polarizing filter. And I have a step-up ring on here, and it allows me to shoot beverages and food or other objects without getting glare. So it's really invaluable to getting a lot of the shots that I do. So I keep around this Gepe card safe. I've had this thing since I started digital photography, and it fits SD cards. I have 4 SD cards in it right now. I don't shoot to SD cards often, or even XQD cards that often, like in the Nikon Z7, but when I'm shooting video, it definitely comes in handy to have a couple spare cards around. All right, next up is batteries, and I just have 2 in my case right now. The rest are in my cameras and on chargers, but I have probably about 8 to 10 camera batteries for each system. I have Nikon batteries, I have Pentax batteries, I have batteries for my gimbal, and I also have batteries for Nikon NPF mount for my lights. So sometimes you find a piece of camera kit just kind of randomly. This is what I put all of my dead batteries in. It said dead batteries on the back here. And it came out of a Petunia pickle bottom bag that we bought for my daughter as a diaper bag. And it's the only thing left out of that, but all the dead AA batteries go in this case. So it's a great way for me and my assistants to know what's where, so they don't put fresh batteries back in good battery cases. All right, next up, we have an X-Rite color checker, and this thing saves my life all the time. So what it is it gives us a bunch of reference squares for both brightness and color accuracy, so you make sure you're shooting everything and it looks perfect. It also has on the other side a gray card, which I use on every shoot at the beginning of every session. Here I have a Pocket Wizard Mini TT1. It's not something I use often anymore. It's a little bit temperamental. So it's still in my bag, and we start with it some days, and other days we don't bother with it. But I like it because it's smaller than the rest of my Pocket Wizards, and the battery lasts a little bit longer when it lasts. I have a bunch of sync cables in here for my various lights. I have two of the old style Pocket Wizard Plus 2 transceivers. These things are absolute workhorses. This one took a fall with my camera one time a couple years ago, but it keeps on ticking. As long as I don't put it on the camera, it's fine. I have two Pocket Wizard Plus X transceivers, and they're perfect. They work well, no complaints with these guys. So another interesting piece of kit is I always keep a rain poncho in my case, and I've gone through a bunch of these over the years. You never know when you're gonna get hit by a downpour going into a shoot or shooting outside. So to protect me, protect my cameras, I usually have at least one in here, sometimes two or three. Right now I only have one because I used two the other day to kind of help protect me and an assistant as we're going in and out of the place when it was raining. Here's one of my Really Right Stuff quick plates. This was originally for the bottom of a 70 to 200, but it's the one I typically put on the FTZ adapter now, and this end just kind of rust at the edge of the adapter. All right, in this case, I also keep all of my AA's. There's 12 in here right now. I have 4 on a charger. I got these little cases at Costco when I bought a bunch of the Eneloop batteries one time. And right now, my AA batteries range from Eneloop's Costco brand, Amazon Basics, and a couple of really ancient Olympus AA batteries that I have. I also have one Manfrotto RC2 quick release. I have it on a ball head oftentimes. It's not a release I use a lot. I prefer the Arca-Swiss style mounts, but I do have one Manfrotto ball head left, so I still keep this around for when I use it. The next to last piece of gear in this case is a Pentax 75mm lens for my 645Z. I don't keep the Z in this case, but I don't have enough room for this lens in the case that the Z goes in, so it rides piggyback in the Pelican 1535. One more piece of gear, and it's my microphone. So I use my microphone a lot, and it stays in this case. It's one of those things that I never thought I'd end up buying as a commercial photographer, but I use it all the time. It's a Zoom F1 field recorder. And it's a fantastic piece of kit. It's one of the best purchases I've made in the last few years. I didn't anticipate I'd use it that often, but I did a video tutorial series a couple years ago. I had to be on camera for it, so that's why I bought it. There's B. Arthur. So I bought it just because I needed it for a shoot, and I use it constantly. It's one of my favorite pieces of the kit. It's how I get the crisp, clear audio that you're listening to right now. So the Zoom F1 field recorder, I got the lav up here on my chest, and I use it all the time. So to wrap it up, that's everything in my Pelican 1535 camera bag. It's my favorite bag. I use it all the time. My bag is constantly changing. It's not gonna be the same next week as it is today. This is the April 2020 edition of What's in Nick's Pelican 1535. Stay tuned. In the next couple weeks, I'm gonna try and put out a couple more videos where I talk about what's in my other cases, and we go through why each piece of kit's there. So if you like my channel, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.